14 months before landing on the moon, Neil Armstrong was practicing landing the prototype of the moon lander on Earth. However, this experiment failed miserably because Neil Armstrong couldn't land the prototype successfully. Fortunately, in the last 2 seconds, he ejected himself and saved his life. But later, when the Apollo 11 moon lander successfully landed on the moon, conspiracy theorists questioned how he could land on the moon when he couldn't even control the lander on Earth. It's been 54 years since Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon, but even today, many people believe that it was all a hoax orchestrated by NASA and the United States. If you listen to these conspiracy theories, they seem quite convincing. They present logical arguments that make an ordinary person wonder if America really lied to us. Was the moon landing filmed in some deserted desert? This theory finds a way to revive itself every few years. For example, in 2002, a man named Bart Sibrel asked Apollo 11 astronaut Edwin Buzz Aldrin some provocative questions in front of the media. Aldrin got angry and punched Sibrel in the face. This incident reignited the conspiracy theories against the moon landings. People said that perhaps Buzz Aldrin believed in the conspiracy theories, which is why he got angry. But what is the actual truth? Was NASA's moon landing real, or was it a secret plan to undermine the Soviet Union during the Cold War? At the start of the space race during the Cold War, the Soviet Union sent the first satellite and unmanned spacecraft to the moon 10 years before NASA's Apollo 11 mission. So what happened that the Soviet Union couldn't send humans to the moon even once while NASA did it 6 times? Let's try to crack each of these theories and uncover the truth. The first thing that raises suspicion in people's minds is the camera used to take photographs on the moon. Marcus Allen, a photographer, doubts astronauts could operate such a complex camera in spacesuits. A spacesuit is not an ordinary suit. It is fully pressurized, meaning it is filled with air, making it difficult to move hands and fingers precisely. Conspiracy theorist Ralph Rene conducted an experiment with astronaut gloves in a vacuum chamber. Initially, he could move his hands and fingers freely, but after removing all the air from the container, the gloves stiffened, making it difficult to move his hand. He argued that in such conditions, it would be impossible to press the trigger or set the focus of a camera. If this is true, then how are the photographs taken on the moon so sharp and perfect? Aerospace engineer Jay Whitley explains that the astronauts on the moon used a specially modified Hasselblad 500 EL camera. It was attached to their suits, eliminating the need to hold it by hand. Modifications included a large shutter button and an easily rotatable focus ring to accommodate their gloves. Due to limited head movement in their helmets, astronauts practiced extensively on Earth to ensure they could capture the best photos on the moon. Some people also question the shadows in photos from the moon landings, suggesting that non-parallel shadows indicate the photos were taken in a studio with artificial lighting. A former head of the American Rocketing Company argues that the shadows should have been parallel since the sun was the only light source on the moon. He points out that in some photos, shadows from different objects like the lander and an astronaut go in different directions. However, experts counter that on Earth, shadows are also often not parallel. For shadows to appear parallel, objects must be parallel to each other, and factors like wide-angle lenses and uneven surfaces can cause shadows to appear non-parallel. Conspiracy theorists question how the American flag on the moon could be perfectly lit on both sides by the sun, and why it appeared to wave without an atmosphere. The flag, made of nylon, allows light to pass through, explaining the lighting. Buzz Aldrin clarified that the flag appeared to wave because of the force needed to plant it firmly into the ground due to the moon's low gravity, not because of wind. The flag was designed with a rod on its upper side to keep it extended and prevent drooping. Conspiracy theorist and famous author Ralph Rene raised a question that when a blower, much less powerful than the moon lander's thrusters, blows on dirt or small stones, it creates a crater and moves the particles. He pointed out that the Apollo 11 lander did not create a crater beneath it, nor did it have any dust on its landing gears, which he found suspicious given the expected effects of the thrusters on the moon's surface. Physicists explained that the lander's rocket motors were turned off a few feet before it landed on the moon, resulting in a 75% decrease in thrust by the time it touched down. This reduction in thrust explains why no crater was formed. The scattered dust seen in photos indicates some movement caused by the remaining 25% thrust, which equaled 1250. While this level of thrust would create a noticeable crater on Earth, it did not on the moon, and this phenomenon remains unexplained within Earth's atmosphere. Another significant question often raised by conspiracy theorists is why the sky appears completely black in the photos taken on the moon, similar to how it looks at night on Earth. Why are there no stars visible? The camera lens works like the human eye. When we look in complete darkness, our pupils dilate to allow as much light in as possible. Conversely, our pupils constrict in bright light. If you've ever been stargazing, you might have noticed that complete darkness is maintained around to allow our pupils to dilate and capture even faint starlight. However, if a light is turned on in this situation, the stars disappear from view. Similarly, during the Apollo 11 mission, the moon's surface was brightly lit by the sun when the photos were taken. The camera lens didn't capture the stars because it was already receiving a significant amount of light from the moon's surface, which was much brighter than the light from the stars. Despite the sunlight falling on the moon, the sky appeared black because there is no atmosphere on the moon. Earth's atmosphere scatters sunlight, making the sky appear blue during the day, but without an atmosphere, the sky is inherently black. After listening to all these theories, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think the moon landing was fake? Did we really land on the moon, or was it all a lie? It's up to you to decide. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.